Everyone, have you ever experienced diving into something and at first you'll think that, is this thing even possible? Well, that for me was Amadeus. Now get ready to reflect on my journey with me on this wonderful semester learning this very powerful and interesting subject. I am Kim Lawrence Curtis and I'm from class 2024 and this is my reflection video in Amadeus. The first question, what are your learnings in Amadeus? Well, first of all, I would like to say that Amadeus is very challenging yet very rewarding. And the most notable thing that I've learned in Amadeus, of course, is learning how to code or to create a PNR or a passenger's name record. But I can assure you, I can tell you that doing one, doing a single PNR, the journey to do that isn't really that smooth of a ride. Well, first, it was very overwhelming. First, we were asked to memorize some IATA codes. That's for cities and airlines. And if I'm not mistaken, that's 150 city codes and 25 airline codes. So that thing really instilled something in me and that made a really huge impact on me. I realized that yes, Amadeus is not really a joke. And yes, after that, we learned how to create a simple PNR by using the SMART method. That's the segment selling, the name, the contact, the receipt from, and the ticking time limit. Um, Using that process, we were able to create a PNR, and later on, we were taught by Sir Miko on how to create a PNR, including other um, services like the booking flights for infant and children, um, also including some special requests like meal requests and bassinets, and of course informing the airlines about remorse regarding the customer's request and the customer specification using the OSYY or the other services information. So yeah, the subject really inspired me, and aside from the learnings that I've got from the technicalities, the codings that it has, of course, it also taught me how to value precision when it comes to your work, how to have a keen eye on determining what's wrong with the code, and to foresee what you really need to do so that you will be able to create a correct PNR and you won't miss a single information because that is very important. Next, do you find the subject difficult and what did you do to survive the subject? Yes, I won't sugarcoat it. Amadeus is not an easy subject, but I can say that it is a very difficult one. But yeah, the thing that made is it very confusing is the lot of things that you need to memorize or the lot of things that you need to be familiarized with, especially the codes, the the processes. However, along the way, our professor, Sir Miko, actually taught us different things or different ways for us to remember the codes, for us to know the codes, to decode the names using the DAC, DAN, like that. And the things that I did to survive the subject, of course, number one is to listen to our professor. Our professor did really well on explaining things. So what I really need to have to do actually in order to survive the subject is just to listen to him because he gives all the clear instructions. What you really have to do is just to listen to the instructions that is stated by the professor, Sir Miko, so that you won't be lost. And number two, in order to survive the subject, is of course to just to review, take notes and review so that you will be able to survive it. Um, and of course, lastly, don't be too overwhelmed because being pressured only holds you back. So just go with the flow, enjoy the subject, and just see what it has to offer. And of course, if you enjoy what you're doing, everything follows good grades follows, and of course, the learnings and knowledge. Next, did your professor deliver the course well? What can you say? And did your professor meet your expectations? Sir Nico manages to teach Amadeus in an easy way. So, learning Amadeus as a student is a very difficult task. So, imagine how harder it is to teach it to students who are not that tech savvy like me. So, yes, Sir Miko really did well in terms of teaching the Amadeus subject. What I love the most about his way of teaching is that he made sure that everyone is not getting left out. He started from the basics and taught every step by step, everything step by steps, so that it will be easier for us and it won't be confusing in performing the laboratory tasks and the major exams, major practical exams. So that's what I really love about the way he teaches everything in a step by step manner, and that is very easy to follow. And about the expectations, Sir Miko, actually before I took this course, I already have a high expectation from him because I am learning or I am hearing a lot of good things about him. Sir Miko is often associated in the words a good teacher, being a good teacher, and from the seniors. Yes. And aside from that, I also know a lot of his reputations as a student. Sir Miko, as far as I know, is a top notcher when it comes to their certification and their Amadeus exam. So, yes, that set a really high standard for me. But you know what? That high expectation, Sir Miko did not just meet it. He managed to exceed it. That very high expectation of mine. He is far beyond what my standard is because yes, he's an exceptional teacher for me. Yes. And I also really appreciate his efforts to make everything or every activity fun and engaging. I can remember during the preliminary period, our task performance is the pick a suitcase task. And that suitcase includes the name of the countries that we need to provide the IATA codes. So that's very engaging and performing. And I performed very well on that. And yeah, that is very engaging and fun. Second is the break the piggy bank during the midterm period to know whose name is going to receive or to recite. And lastly is the most recent, the Miss Universe inspired theme, a Miss Universe inspired task wherein we will introduce our names together with the countries that we choose or the flag, and that is very memorable. What do you think will be the benefits of learning Amadeus? Well, learning Amadeus and learning how to use its system is a very critical skill that you need to learn as it opens a lot of doors for us. It gives us a lot of opportunities. It gives us the ability to enter any jobs on our industry, on this very, of course, highly competitive industry. It offers a lot of opportunity for us to land into different jobs like travel agency or in the airport during the booking or hotels. So I do think that Amadeus is very beneficial for us. Also, aside from that, of course, aside from the technical aspect that about it, learning Amadeus and learning how to use its system actually teaches us discipline because during each laboratory or each midterm or major examination, practical examination, you will need to have discipline. You will need to have a keen eye on everything. You need to have attention to detail, which are critical skills and which are critical characteristics for us, a tourism professional, in order to provide the best kind of service that we will ever have to offer to our guests. So, yes, learning Amadeus is technically and of course morally beneficial for us. Lastly, what will be your advice to all second year BSTM this year, as they will also take this course next year? So just like what I've told earlier on this earlier part of video, um, the Amadeus subject will be very intimidating at first, especially when you're not tech savvy like me, who doesn't know how to use computers at all, who doesn't know how to encode and everything like that. Of course, it will be very intimidating, but as long as you do these tips, the following tips, I believe that you will be able to survive this subject. First, of course, is to always listen to Sir Miko. Sir Miko already states the specific or the important information that you need to learn in order to create the perfect or the correct PNR and the correct task. So if you listen attentively to him about the information that is needed on that specific PNR, or listen to his instruction, the tips, and the proper sequence of everything, how to encode, then you will be able to create the PNR in a smooth way, because everything will just fall back into their places. And I assure that if you listen to Sir, there is nothing to worry about, because if you listen attentively, then you will know what you will do. Of course, second, take notes, practice, review. Take notes while Sir Miko is discussing something. Of course, listening to him is a good thing, but let's be honest, just listening won't work. You need to jot down notes. List down the important information, especially the key terms, the proper sequence, and with that you will be guided while doing your review. In reviewing, you will just have to look at your notes and recall everything that Sir Miko has said, using your notes as a guide. And lastly, practice. Each week, the password will be reset by Sir Miko. And all you have to do is to just get it from him and practice everything. Practice encoding, practice creating a PNR whenever you have free time. Just doing something like that, or practicing how to create a PNR once or twice a day will just create magic. And once the major exams or the laboratory performance, laboratory exercises has come, then everything will just um, go go into their places, because you are already used into the interface and you won't be confused anymore. And of course, lastly, is to enjoy. Enjoy every moment, capture it, because these are one of the key things, or one of the key experiences that you will gather if you were a tourism management student. Learning how to use the Amadeus system is something that is very rewarding. So enjoy it. Don't be too pressured about it. Of course, the Amadeus subject is hard to pass, but let's be honest, if you pass it all together with your friends, with your classmates, it will be much more happier. So practice with your friends, review with your friends, share notes with them, then it will be very happy. And with that, you will only not learn how to create or how to use the system interface itself, but also you will know how to collaborate with others. And that is a critical skill, once again, for a tourism management student and a future tourism professional. Looking back, I think that this semester is something that I can call one of the greatest semesters that I've ever experienced, and that is because of Amadeus. I was very afraid of this subject act when I was in second year, because every time that I hear about this, people are always complaining. The students are like, oh my gosh, it's Amadeus time again, and the grades are out and everything like that. So I was very afraid of it at first, but experiencing it and overcoming, I can say that I've already overcome it, because I still haven't taken my certification exam yet. But yes, experiencing it firsthand is very wonderful and rewarding. Every PNR that you created, every perfect score or every high score that you have achieved is very rewarding, because you know for yourself that you did it and you exerted effort for it. So, yes, Amadeus is a very wonderful memory that I will treasure, and learning it is something that I will be forever proud about. And that is thanks, to, of course, to our professor, Sir Nico, to my classmates and my friends for guiding me, and for the wonderful things that it has to offer. So that's it for my reflection video, and I hope that you, the future class of Amadeus, class 2025, 2026, and so on, will be able to watch it. And once you watch this, um, you will be inspired and you won't be afraid anymore, because you have my words. Amadeus is a good subject. And see you next year, future tourism professional. Goodbye.